You've been told that success is about discipline, about drive, about wanting it badly enough. And maybe you've checked all those boxes. You work hard, you push through, you keep going even when it hurts. But here's something nobody really talks about. What if some of that relentless drive isn't ambition at all? What if it's your nervous system doing exactly what it learned to do when you were just trying to survive? Most high achievers never stop to ask why they can't slow down, why rest feels like a threat, why enough never actually feels like enough. There's a psychological pattern hiding underneath a lot of success stories, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Maybe you're the person who can't sit still on a Sunday afternoon without feeling guilty. You check your phone during dinner, you volunteer for more before you've finished what's already on your plate. And when someone asks how you're doing, you say busy, almost like it's a badge of honor. Deep down, slowing down doesn't feel peaceful, it feels dangerous, like if you stop moving, something bad will catch up to you, or worse, like you'll disappear. You might have learned to measure your worth by your output, to feel safe only when you're useful, to earn your place in the room by being the one who does the most. That's not just a personality type. That pattern has a history, and understanding it changes everything. Here's what most people get wrong about this. They assume that if success feels compulsive, something must be broken. But your brain isn't broken. It adapted. When you grew up in an environment that was unpredictable, critical, or emotionally unsafe, your nervous system made a decision. It learned that performing, achieving, and staying useful were ways to stay protected, to stay loved, to stay alive in the way that mattered most back then. That relentless drive wasn't a character flaw. It was intelligence. It was survival. And here's where it gets interesting. The same mechanism that helped you make it through is now running your adult life on autopilot. The question isn't whether this pattern served you. It did. The question is whether it's still serving you now. Researchers who study childhood trauma and the nervous system have found something that reframes everything. When a child grows up in an environment where love feels conditional, where approval had to be earned, where chaos was normal, the brain literally rewires itself around one core mission: stay safe. And staying safe for a kid doesn't always mean hiding. Sometimes it means being perfect, being helpful, being indispensable. Neuroscientists call this a survival adaptation, the nervous system shifting into a state of chronic low-level activation, always scanning, always performing, always preparing for the next threat. Studies show that people who experienced emotional unpredictability in childhood are significantly more likely to tie their self-worth to productivity as adults, not because they chose to, but because their brain learned that stillness wasn't safe, that rest had to be earned, and that love came with conditions attached. And this pattern doesn't live in your thoughts, it lives in your body. That tightness in your chest when your to-do list is unfinished, the way your jaw clenches during a conversation where someone seems disappointed in you, the low-grade restlessness that makes it almost impossible to be fully present, even when life is actually good. That's not anxiety in the clinical sense. That's a nervous system that never got the memo that the danger passed. But here's the detail almost nobody notices. This survival mode doesn't feel like fear. It feels like motivation. It feels like ambition. It feels like you. So most people never question it. They just keep going, collecting achievements like evidence that they're okay. Now pay attention to this. The same drive that helped you outperform, over-deliver, and outlast, that same engine also makes it nearly impossible to receive love without earning it first, to accept a compliment without deflecting, to rest with guilt, whispering that you're falling behind. And here's where everything shifts. The problem was never that you worked too hard. The problem is that your nervous system is still solving a problem that no longer exists, still protecting a child who already made it out, still performing for an audience that isn't even in the room anymore. Now, none of this means your success isn't real. It is. The discipline, the resilience, the ability to push through, those are genuine. But there's a cost worth looking at honestly. When achievement is wired to survival, you don't get to enjoy it. You cross the finish line and immediately look for the next race. You reach the goal and feel nothing, or worse, a quiet dread that now you have to maintain it. Relationships can suffer too, because someone running on survival mode often struggles to be truly vulnerable, to ask for help without feeling weak, to let people in without wondering what they'll want in return. And the hardest part, this pattern tends to be invisible to the people living it. It doesn't feel like a wound, it feels like a work ethic. That distinction, that one right there, is everything.
You were never too much. You were never broken. You were a person who figured out how to survive, and you were really good at it. But survival and living are not the same thing. Understanding this pattern doesn't make you weaker, it makes you clearer. It means you can start to separate who you are from what you do, your worth from your output, your identity from your productivity. You don't have to dismantle everything you've built. You just have to know why you built it. In that awareness, that quiet moment of recognition is where something new becomes possible. You're not starting over, you're finally starting from the truth. The nervous system that drove your success is the same one that's been keeping you guarded. And once you understand that, the next question becomes, what does healing actually look like in real life? Not in therapy, not in theory, in your daily patterns, your reactions, your body. We already made a video about exactly that, and it goes deeper than most people expect. It's the logical next step from everything you just heard. Go watch it.